So the big picture for this lesson is kites and trapezoids. Here's a kite. A kite is a quadrilateral that has two pairs of consecutive congruent sides, but the opposite sides are not congruent. And also for a kite, it has exactly one pair of opposite angles congruent. So for this kite, it's angle A congruent to angle C, but angle B is not congruent to angle D. And you'll see a video in this lesson how to construct a kite. You'll want to try that. Some more properties of a kite. The diagonals are perpendicular. One pair of diagonals bisects the pair of non-congruent angles, and also exactly one diagonal bisects the other. Trapezoid is a quadrilateral with exactly one pair of parallel sides. The parallel sides are called bases, the non-parallel sides are called legs. Trapezoid has two pairs of base angles. They're the angles that go along with each parallel side. In other words, angle A and angle B, that's one pair. Angle C and D, that's the other pair. For an isosceles trapezoid, the legs are congruent, as you can see here. Segment AD is congruent to segment BC. And also, if you have an isosceles trapezoid, each pair of base angles is congruent. And also, you can say that if a trapezoid has a pair of congruent base angles, then it has to be isosceles. So you can use that information to solve for unknown angles in a trapezoid. As shown here, you're given one base angle. So that means measure of angle B has to be 60 degrees also. And since lines DC and AB are parallel, you have consecutive interior angles that have to add to make 180 degrees. And so you can easily solve the other two angles for 120 degrees each. For an isosceles trapezoid, the diagonals are congruent. Okay, now let's get to the midsegment of a trapezoid. A midsegment connects the midpoints of the two non-bases, and it's also parallel to the bases. And the length is the average of the two lengths of the bases. So to find the length of the midsegment, you find the average of the two bases. So you can use that information to solve for the midsegment. You can also use it to solve for one of the bases if you're provided the midsegment and a base length. And here's just a summary of the quadrilateral properties. Start off with a basic quadrilateral, and then you can go to a kite, trapezoid, or parallelogram. A trapezoid can be more specific with isosceles trapezoid. Parallelogram can go to rectangle or rhombus. And then if it's rectangle and rhombus, it's a square. So that's what you're going to be doing in this lesson. You're going to be dealing with kites and their properties, trapezoids, and also midsegments of trapezoids. That's the big picture.